What it do, credit kings and queens? In today's video, man, we're gonna talk about getting your first credit cards and things you should think about when getting your first credit card. Let's go. Welcome back. If you've been here before, welcome to it. This is your first time here. My name is EJ, and on this channel, man, you guys are following me on my journey to get my credit score to 800. And on the way, I'm giving you guys tips and tricks and things I've done on the way to help you guys get there as well. I give you guys real life, stuff. I don't fluff it. I can let you guys know the real, and it's not always pretty, but there's somebody out there in my exact same situation, or thinking about doing something like that. And this is where I come in. I give you guys my real life situations of what I've been doing. Particularly, mostly, it's credit score. That's the main thing I focus on here, but we talk about everything finance. It's my newest channel. If you guys are new here, if you go down my channel here, so you see I haven't always done this. This is my newest niche that I've dropped into last year, around September of last year. And I've been trying to help somebody out who's been in the same situation as me. Thank you guys for all you have been here watching these videos before. And if this is your first time here, hope you guys learned something from these videos. Now let's get straight into this. For the longest time, a lot of people, especially my generation, 30, around the 30-year-old range, around the 80s babies, a lot of us don't have credit cards because growing up we were always, heard that credit cards is bad, credit cards the devil, you're gonna get yourself in debt, blah blah blah. Just programmed us to not want to get credit cards. And slowly but surely people are starting to get there, but there's still a lot of people who still have that same mindset. It's like cash everything. There's nothing wrong with cash, but credit, I want to see somebody who make $30,000 a year go pay full cash for their car, or go pay full cash for their house. It's not gonna happen. Try to get an apartment at least. Turn your utilities on with your cash. It's not gonna work. So as an adult, you have to build credit. And one of those things you do, one of the easiest way to build credit is to get a credit card. But it's a cycle because they want to give you a credit card because you don't have credit history. And because you don't have credit history, you can't get a credit card. It's a cycle. So how you get that? You have to get your first credit card. One of the easiest credit cards you get for your first credit card is a security credit card. Security credit card, if you don't know, I have videos about it.
Storyblocks audio.
My first security credit card was a Discovery security card, followed by the Navy Federal security card. Security cards, you just put a deposit down, how much you want your credit limit to be, and that will be your new credit limit. Within a month, they report that to the credit bureaus, and now you have credibility. Now you have some sort of, trade line to build your credit. That's what this is. But with your first credit card, you need to understand how credit cards work. You need to understand that, if you don't make your payment on time, you're gonna build up the bill. That's the number one reason why people get into debt. If you don't make weekly payments to help keep your balance low so you don't get into debt, you're gonna end up messing yourself up. If you don't pay attention to your credit card, you forget about it, you're gonna mess yourself up. If you lose your credit card, you don't have to worry about getting in trouble as much as you would if you lose your debit card. Because if you lose your debit card, yeah, they'll lock it, they'll block it, all that. But if somebody get a hold of it before you can do it, you're not gonna get that money back as easy as it was if it was a credit card. You don't have more security with a credit card. Credit cards are probably, I say they should be the new debit cards. Once you get a high enough limit to where you can do that, put all your expenses, all that stuff on your credit card, get cash back if you have that kind of card, which I'll get into in a minute, and get rewards for your normal spending. That's the number one thing. If you go to the grocery store and get $100 worth of groceries with cash versus getting $100 with a credit card to give you 2%, 3% cash back, you made money back. It's not a ton, but you made money back just for doing your everyday purchases. And that's what the difference is. You also need to learn about the fees. Fees on these credit cards, interest rates, you need to learn how all that stuff works before you get into your first credit card. Generally, with your first credit card, your interest rates are going to be pretty high. But me personally, I don't care about interest rate because I never carry a balance. So if you don't carry a balance, you have to worry about interest rate. The second thing you need to do is you need to understand yourself. You need to understand how you spend money. You need to understand how are you responsible enough to make sure that you make your payments on time. Your mind, every time you go to the store, your mind should be focused on, if you use credit cards, I'm swiping this card, I remember how much I paid. If you're not responsible enough to keep the money from your bank account and not spend it, set it to the side, put it in your savings account so you make sure you have that money set. People are like, oh, I spent the money on your credit card. No, as soon as you make that that transaction, if you're not responsible, and you know you're not gonna remember at the store, even while you're walking out, take that money from your checking account, put it into your savings account. You're covered. Next one of the things you need to do is you need to see which card you pre-qualify for. You can also, on top of that, see if you can get somebody to give you a referral code. Plus, you get a little perk. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you get like $25, $50, $100. Sometimes other person too. So, referral codes are always good, but pre-qualification is probably the easiest way. Now, there's a pre-qualification where they do soft pull, and sometimes they do a hard pull. Most time it's soft pulls. Soft pull, it doesn't hurt your credit report, it doesn't hurt your credit score. It's just a mark on your bottom of your credit report, what nobody even cares about. That shows that some creditor checked your credit, but it's not gonna affect your score. That's all it is. Now, when you're doing your pre-qualification, it just tells you a general idea of do you qualify the basic guidelines to get this card. Just because they said you pre-qualify for it does not mean you're gonna get the card. It's not 100% because it's more to that. You pre-qualify for it, but they didn't do a full credit check. Once you actually apply to do a hard check and they see your full credit profile. It's not all about credit scores. People get that confused. It's not all about credit scores. It's about credit profile, your credit history, your credit strength, not just the numbers. The numbers is just a general overview, but there's other stuff in your credit report that they look at to see if you qualify. Capital One is probably one of the most famous ones for people with lower credit scores to just get into the credit game. They're known for helping people out. People like me who mess up with Capital One, trying to fix that. But we ain't gonna talk about that. If you also want to look at Discover, I have a link in the description too, as well, for a $50 referral code. Once you make your first purchase, we both get $50, and you pay it back. You both get $50 back for that. It's a good little deal. Love Discover. Like I said, I got a video. Check my history here, my playlist, my financial freedom playlist. I've talked about Discover and Navy Federal plenty of times, and I'm not gonna stop. Those are great things you want to do to pre-qualify, see if you are qualified to get the card. And after you find out if you are, then you press the button to see what they say. Sometimes it's good news, sometimes it's bad news. If it's bad news, once you get the letter in the mail saying why you were denied, give them a call back, see if they got a reconsideration line. A lot of these banks do. Ask to reconsider their decision. If they don't, try to get a security card. Like me personally, I think you should try to get a security card first before you go for the regular cards. But sometimes you don't have good enough credit. If you know you don't have nothing to get, no collections, you haven't missed any payments, anything like that, then you can go for the regular card. But if you have a little bit of dings in your history or some smudges on your credit report, go for that security card. It'll be a much easier, cleaner way to try to get it. You just gotta make sure you have the money down. That's it. Next step, you wanna make sure you choose the right card for you. Like, not every card is gonna fit for you. Like, when you first starting out, you can't expect the cards to have like, oh, I got a $10,000 limit and I got 5-10% cash back, and they buy me a new car when I get the car. Then you're not gonna get all that stuff. Your card is probably gonna be a basic card with no rewards on it. All right. If you get a security card, it's probably not gonna have nothing on it, and it may graduate you early or give you extra cash around the 3-month mark, like Navy Federal and the Capital One do. But you can't be out here expecting these crazy limits and stuff like that for your first card. If you know that you're gonna be you want to get into a certain ecosystem, if they have a security, like say for instance, you want to get into the Navy Federal, if you have your military background, get into their security card first, and that'll get you pathways to get into the rest of their cards. You know, the Navy Federal is probably one of the most popular credit unions in the world. If you want to get into somewhere like Chase, they don't have a security card, but they do have a lower limit card. But you can't get that until you show that you have a card already that has at least $500 on it. So if you have a $500 limit, you have a higher chance of getting the Chase card, the lower one, the Chase Free Flex, like that. So if you know you're going to be doing a lot of traveling, Chase and Amex probably be your best bets if you want to get into that system. But before you get into that system, you got to build up that relationship. So you got to pick what's right for you. I suggest starting out with something like the Discover card. Like people love talking crap about Discover card, but Discover be holding it down. Like, I ain't got no problem with Discover. Like I said, link in the description. You gotta want to get the referral code. It's down there. But put $200 down. They give you cash back. You get cash back, and they match your cash back for your first year. That's rare these days in these credit cards with security cards. So definitely look into that, because that's definitely worth your time. And last but not least, you want to be responsible with your card. Responsible with your card. Once you get it, so this is your first card. You put names. You say like $500. You put $500 on. You don't go and spend a full $500 immediately and think you're gonna be good. Your first few months, you gotta be real cautious with spending, because they need to see that you can handle it. All right. Your first 3 months, you shouldn't you shouldn't, no matter what, go over 30% of your car. No matter what. Spend that money, pay it off. But stay on 30%. Because you're getting a security card, they're a little worried about you as it is. So show them that you can handle it. After your first year or something, after your car graduate, then you can spend a little bit more. I got videos talking about that as well in my description. I mean, in my playlist. Just spend, pay. At the end of the month, make sure your balance is where you want it to be. Or whenever your due date is, make sure your balance is under 10%. Your statement date, let it report, then you make another payment and you start over again. It's simple. And you might just make sure you're responsible with your card. Don't forget, if you need to set reminders, set up auto pay, have backup plans so you don't screw yourself over. Because if you trying to build these relationships with these banks and you screw up, a lot of them aren't as forgiving as others. So if you're me personally, everybody know, if you don't know, all I care about is Amex and Chase. Those are the two ecosystems that I am aiming to get into. But you gotta take steps. You gotta crawl before you walk. I get that. That's why I've been taking these steps and letting you guys see my journey as I go there. I spend almost all my purchases on my credit card now. Everything is, I just swipe it up. I go well over 30%. But I pay it off. And I make sure my balance is reporting 2 to 3% every time I make a payment. Amen. It's simple. You just gotta make sure you guys are responsible. That's it. But yeah, if you guys are looking for your first card, I highly suggest the Discover It security card. Bank of America also has a security card. That's pretty good now. Low key, it's neck and neck, if not a little bit better than the Discover It card. But I can vouch for the Discover It card. If you're in the military, Navy Federal is a great starter card. If you guys are looking for like upper end, U.S. Bank has a security card. But you also gotta make sure these cards graduate too. Capital One, I still don't know if they graduate or not, because sometimes you say they do, sometimes they say they don't. So I don't know. Those are the cards I would suggest if you guys are thinking about your first card. If you already have a good credit score and you want to get into a nice system, you can't go wrong with Chase. If you're already, you're trying to get into that system, you can't go wrong with that. Amex, you can't go wrong with that. Navy Federal, of course. And I think that's pretty much all the ones I would suggest. Hope you guys learned something from this video. Hope it was entertaining and informative as it should be. I am starting to slowly roll back into my videos. So if you guys have been there before, thank you so much for watching. If you guys haven't yet, make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you know when I drop the next video. If you're new here, hit the notification bell too so you know everything. Yeah, man, this is it. Welcome to my new office again. I'm looking at myself. Don't worry about that. We ain't supposed to see that, so we're supposed to come back here. But yeah. We're not done with this office yet. Stay tuned, there's gonna be some more. That's it. So until next time. Can't see how far it is. Get your credit score. My name is EJ, this is Essential Digital Media Production. Until next time, stay legendary.